Welcome to another episode of Nori is Off the Line. This is your positive source of insights, opinions, and relevant information. We are live on TBN Philippines, TBN Asia, and UCAP Television. Tonight on this program, we will be talking to the founders of Him PH, Benz and Bea, about this advocacy and what motivates them to continue doing what they do. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have Him PH founders Benz and Bea, and they'll be talking about their advocacy. But before that, guys, would you mind to please have some quick background about yourselves?
All right. Thanks, Sir Nori. So I'm Benz, and I am a civil engineer by profession, and I've been with the church. I've been involved with the church since I was around 10 years old.
Mhm.
I entered the altar service ministry, and also I've been involved for the past 12 years with the Dominican Youth
Mhm.
or DOMNET. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
hi, I'm Bea Concepcion. I've been working in the retail fashion industry for the past 5 years, but right now I'm currently working in the academe as a teacher of entrepreneurship and applied economics. And we are the co-founders of him.ph.
So both of you are full-time workers, not workers, but rather you both have a full-time jobs, and this is a project on the side, as we may call it. But let's talk about Him PH. What is it? Is it is it an online retail shop, or is it an advocacy page, or what is it? Can you please educate us about it?
Okay, so him is we call it our passion project. Okay, it started as an idea to launch minimalist shirts that we would sell, and at the same time, these shirts would speak about our advocacies. Um, our designs are um, they are hand embroidered with biblical texts or
Mm-hmm.
anything that's positive, any mantra that you have that you want to share with people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the design aesthetics. And then later on, we realized that we just don't want to be an online retail shop. We wanted to be more of an advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we started with our advocacy. We call it Wear, Share, Care. So wear him, share the good news, and then care for the people in need. Care for the people in need because we started doing outreach programs
Mm-hmm.
through the sales of our shirts. So right now, it's our main thrust for the business.
Mm-hmm.
So we're selling shirts to preach His words and
Mm-hmm.
at the same time to help those who are in need. So
So, yeah, sorry to cut you off. You said it's a retail, it's an online retail shop first before it became an advocacy. I mean, so Benz is a civil engineer. You are a teacher. I mean, why venture into a retail shop online?
okay.
Actually, because I'm involved with the Dominican youth,
Mm-hmm.
so I've been with the youth ministry for about 12 years. And then, like her, she used to be with the fashion industry
Mm-hmm.
as a marketing and then those things for fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And then it actually started when we were in a mall
Mm-hmm.
strolling around. And then suddenly may nakita kami na image na in praying position.
Mm-hmm.
So sabi ko, Bay, why not we do something na we will have sales, and then let's have those sales part of it to do some outreach program. Since ako, I have some experiences in youth missions,
Mm-hmm.
programs, community services.
Yeah, especially the youth ministry, no?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then sabi na, okay, why not shirt? And then because she's the expert in the fashion,
Fashion.
she, she told me that it should be unique if we will do that. So let's do it hand embroidered.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna ask about that because if you would notice, there's just a lot of shirt businesses nowadays. No, ang dami-dami nila. So, what made you decide to do it, hand embroidered? Kasi medyo tedious yan, medyo mahirap gawin.
So, yeah, coming from the business side, I've always learned that if you're going to offer something to the market, it has to be unique.
Mhm.
So, we said it starts with formulating ano yung mga problems that we encounter with shirts.
Mhm.
For example, if it's printed, everyone's doing it. Everyone's wearing printed shirts.
Correct.
So, ano yung meron sa printed that we can offer na hindi nila ma-offer. So, some of the problems, they say, mabilis kumupas or something like that.
Yeah.
And sabi ko, what can we do to make it last longer? And then we embroider it. So, we came up with the hand embroidery idea, and then we started looking for embroiderers and test our designs. And then luckily, we found a community that could really help us push through with our design. So, siguro it started from the idea now, what can we offer something unique
Mhm.
for the market na hindi
Yeah.
pa masyado natatap on.
Mhm.
So,
Was it hard to look for people who will do the hard part of the job for you, like you do the embroidery itself? Parang ang hirap, no?
actually, we have
Took
to,
months siguro.
yeah. Kasi sometimes yung quality rin hindi yung nagmamatch sa gusto sa designs. So
Yes.
parang we really have to trial and error. We
Yeah,
have
and
to
of-
really look for people.
And of course, like for example, if you want to have this design,
Mhm.
every piece is actually
different.
different. And
Kasi
so,
it's hand, it's not machine.
so not exactly the same. Pero naisip namin, I mean, every one of us is unique in ourselves. So parang yung shirt natin would speak about us being unique to everyone, but at the same time having impact, something like that.
So para siyang no, super luxurious cars, no, that they only produce a couple of units per design. Parang
Yeah.
ganan yung dating. Pero so let's say the shirt that you're wearing now, both of you are wearing your own shirts, no? Like how many pieces of them do you produce? Like yung suot ni Benz, like ilan piraso yan na magkakamukha? Or do you mass produce them also?
At the start, I think we produce around 10 per design,
per size.
per size.
Mhm.
Then after that, nung naubos na yung mga stocks, we gather orders and then have around 3 to 7 days of processing and then production.
Parang it became
Pre-order.
need to order
Yeah,
type of inventory,
Yeah.
type of system na. Kasi parang we have all the plain shirts,
Mhm.
and then once we get through the designs and we study na kung ano yung mga best sellers,
Yeah.
that's the time that we let our embroiderers do their magic.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, not totally in line with the business, but this is more on. This is more on. So how do you now make sure that you are not biased towards your business and also your full-time jobs? Because I mean, let's face it, guys. Sometimes there will be biases that we are probably not conscious about. How is the bias going on?
I think the people in my office are actually very supportive in what we do because they see the importance and the impact that we are doing through the outreach programs.
Mhm.
And actually, our volunteers are coming from our network also, our office mates and friends,
Mm-mm.
and they're happy. Siguro because of our one of the main goals of him is sharing also positivity
Mm-mm.
to everyone, sharing God's blessings to others because we are blessed by Him.
Mhm.
So they're actually happy that, well, in my side, and of course, I think for Bea, that we are doing this.
For my case, I think I'm teaching entrepreneurship. So sometimes my experience from him is what I teach in class.
Right.
And yeah, we're promoting social enterprise. So we're responsible entrepreneurs.
Mm-mm.
So I think that's where I bank on my experience on this.
Mm-mm.
I share to my students. So I don't think there's a conflict naman, but
At
I
least
think
in line with how with what you teach, no?
yes.
And
And I
so,
remember lang, Sir Nori, that
yes.
some people, I mean, some of our friends and office mates are actually telling us, thanking him
Mm-mm.
for having this kind of an avenue
Mm-mm.
where people can help. Because there are so many people who actually want to help,
Mm-mm.
but sometimes they don't know where to help or how to help.
Yeah.
So they're happy of having him to do those things.
Correct. You know, that's one of the issues that we face during this crisis. There's a lot of people, good-hearted ones, who just wanted to help, but you know, they're either they don't trust the establishment enough. That's why they're looking for alternatives. How can we support? We wanted to do it differently. You know, probably go to through a different channel and all that. So I'm gonna go back to our main agenda, which is your him PH advocacy. So now we talked about the retail part. We talked about the business part. Now you're into the advocacy part, wherein you're helping communities, you're helping people, our less fortunate brothers and sisters. But one thing that struck me in my previous conversations with people just like you are, is that there always is a backgrounder as to why you're doing what you do now.
Um, like because of my involvement with the youth movement, I was able to visit Sir Nori some communities here and abroad,
Mhm.
and you get to see the sufferings of other people, and uh, natuloy ako.
Were you surprised of the question?
Yes.
It's okay.
um, Parang mabigat sa feeling of knowing
It's
that
okay.
um, we have so much blessings, and yet there are people who are suffering, who need even just people to talk to,
Mhm.
or even just a simple reach out of saying hi or smiling to others with that experience. So siguro that's one of my hugot in doing this, kasi yung experience of seeing people, yung genuine happiness that they see when people wholeheartedly, without any hidden agenda or intentions,
Mhm.
just to help, just to share the blessings that they've been receiving. It's a great experience. It's the experience of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yan siguro yung naging yung ano ko.
Mhm. Well, thank you for sharing that very emotional moment with us on Off the Line. I totally agree because you know, before we get to Bea, I totally agree because you know, for us to be able to share, we need to have something to share. So I'm gonna go to Bea. Bea, how about you? How's life growing up? Why do you do this?
Okay, for me, um, I think I have been blessed enough. I have a really big family. We have a God-fearing and close-knitted family. We call it angkan pa nga, angkan. So it is through this angkan, through my family, that I've realized how lucky I am as a person. And I've never had any sufferings that are so major enough that has cracked me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But I I've been blessed enough with a lot of things, and that's where I really want. That's where I really made it a point that in my life I have to pay it forward,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he has to agree with me that both of us kasi are scholars in college. So
Wow,
everything we've been provided with good universities. So it is through
blessings.
these experiences na I realized na I've been really blessed enough. And being with him, I've been exposed to a lot of ministries and missionary
Mm-hmm.
uh, activities that I realized na God really loves me. I haven't had any, for example, death-defying experiences, but I know that I am really blessed with a good family and with a good education, good work, and this is where I really wanted to pay it forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think Benz has been a big influence to me to stay grounded
Mm-hmm.
and to experience what other people are experiencing. So that's where I really wanted to include this passion project, to have this kind of initiative to reach out to people. I think I really up to now I admit that haven't seen um, I have to be more open minded with what's happening around us, and I want to bring all my friends, all my families to see this also, to make them feel involved with what's happening with the communities around us.
Correct.
So
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to, to involve people for them to see firsthand what's really happening. So we are thankful for people like you, as I've said earlier. So let me go to the advocacy now, because you say on your page that the proceeds, or the sales proceeds, will go to chosen beneficiaries. So can you talk to us about this? Who can be a beneficiary? How do you choose them? How do you filter them if there is a qualifier? Can you tell me more about it?
You
okay,
know.
so our main thrust for the passion project that we have, we call it Wear, Share, Care.
Mm-hmm.
You wear him, you wear our shirts, you share the good news through the text that
Mm-hmm.
we put in, and then you also care for the people in need, because we dedicate certain proceeds from our shirt sales
Mm-hmm.
to help out or to conduct outreach programs.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past 3 years, we've had, I think, three
Three
major
major.
outreach programs wherein we select indigent communities. I mean, there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of people that we could help, but we really see to it that the community that we are helping would be the ones who need it the most.
How
So
do you
we
select
before
them?
oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, how do you select them, I said? The beneficiaries.
Okay, so first we start with our networks. Sometimes we ask them, do you know a particular community that really needs our help? Sometimes even our network, sila na yung nag-initiate na,
Mm-mm.
hey, can you help
Mm.
us for this community?
Maybe
Yeah.
you could help
Yeah.
this naman.
Mm-mm.
So we do ocular, we also interview people there, even the barangays.
Mm-mm.
So we try to really see if they really need us or if they can sustain their own
So
lives naman,
basically, you still do background checking before.
just to make sure.
Kasi diba, there was a huge news a few years ago about certain NGOs that are non-existent. So is it
Mm.
Yeah.
is it because of that you're trying to be careful also of what you are doing?
Part of it, Sir Nori. Part of it. Pero yun nga po. Kasi we want really we want to really help those who are in need, kasi meron naman yung kaya naman pa rin nila to sustain something, or there are many people who are helping them already.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So if we see those communities, then we try to look for those others who are not yet uh, being reached
Mm-mm.
out on.
Mm-mm.
Actually, I just want to share the story. Yung at first, we tried to reach out known
True.
orphanage
Yes, yes.
organizations,
Uh-huh.
yung mga usual company
Yeah.
outreach go-to places.
Mm.
But then some of them, parang sila na yung nagsasabi na, you can help others na lang kasi we've been
Too much
receiving a
na.
Too
lot
much
already.
na.
So that's the time that we realized na we really have to do the footwork and go to streets and really check on barangays na talagang kailangan. Kasi I think mas better yung ma-reach mo talaga yung indigent communities.
And I like the idea of you going into the barangays or talking to people about really finding out about these communities. Kasi nga, you're right eh. It could be, just one of those communities that are, yes, they need some help, but there are already a lot of people helping them. And that's one of the issues that the government is facing, because they're helping communities that are already being helped also by NGOs or other groups. So especially those communities in the remote places, ito yung mga hindi na hihit ng, should we call, mainstream na mga advocacy groups. So hindi na hit because they don't go there, they don't really do necessary background checking, so to speak, or yung paglalagay ng effort ba talaga na hanapin who is really needy. So how was the experience in getting into these communities? If you can share with us at least one experience that would that made you decide firmly na okay, let's do this because of this.
Um, well, the first one, we call it Embraced by Him.
Mhm.
It's on our first year, and then we decided to make it a celebration of Him kasi kakatapos lang ng Christmas,
Mhm.
and we want, and as we know, we are all children of God.
Mhm.
So we wanted to have that first celebration with children. So we decided to have the urban poor in one barangay here in Quezon City.
Mhm.
And then for me, that experience was really memorable. Um, because of course it was the first, and at the same time, um, nakita mo yung mga smiles ng mga bata, very innocent, very genuine.
Mhm.
And we gave out gifts for Christmas, and we gave out school supplies. And that's the first time also that we actually ask our customers and our friends to be volunteers.
Mhm.
And then we try to have some journal then from the volunteers of their experience.
Mhm.
Reading their journal,
Mhm.
parang wow, yun pala yung naging impact. They were very happy to experience that, to be helping others. Yun yung yun yung sa akin na experience for that first.
For me, I think I'm so excited to share this. Our
Go
third
ahead.
outreach program.
Ayun.
It's
Actually, dapat yung share ko.
kasi ito yung pinakamaraming
Mm.
indigents kaming na cater. It's a street store, collaboration with street store.
Mhm.
Street store kasi we met them, husband and wife. What they do is they set up a pop-up store on the streets for homeless
Homeless.
people to shop for free.
Mhm.
Then this the inventory, the display, the clothes that we gave there are pre-loved items from everyone. Okay, so what we did, we set up this street store in Sampaloc nga.
Mhm.
And then at first, our target was just 300 homeless people. But then, after a while, ang daming nagbigay ng clothes and even medicines, even money for food. So we reached 800 people.
Mhm.
So that was the first time that I felt now, wow, we can do a lot.
Mhm.
And to be honest, during that time, my role was to parang welcoming committee sa indigent community. Hindi nga ako nakapag-shop around or nakapag-look around or nakapag-assist for them. I was just there at the entrance. Hindi ko sila nakita nagsha-shop. But I think for me, it's an eye-opener kasi that's the time that I get to interview them. And I can see their excitement. And then paglabas nila, makita mo din na, wow, thank you. And I would just like to share this one conversation that I had with an old guy.
Mhm.
Parang he was forcing me to tell someone, or parang he was forcing me to tell na this is from a politician. This is an initiative from a politician.
Yeah.
Who's
Tanong siya
behind
ng
this? Parang
tanong
sino
na
ba
parang
talaga ang
sinong naggawa nito, sinong ano. Hindi, tapos parang ako, kami lang po, yung mga nakikita nyo, kami lang po yung gawa nito.
Uh-huh.
Pero sino yung parang he was insisting na someone is behind it, a politician.
May
I assume.
assumption na sila, no?
And then when he started to get it na kami nga lang, parang he told me, maraming salamat ma'am. Parang maganda tong ginagawa nyo. And then that was the time na parang I have to do this more. And I have to get people more involved with this. Kasi sabi ko nga kay Benz noon, parang yung happiness or yung fulfillment that I get from him is not from the sales. It's from the people or volunteers.
Yeah.
Na makikita mo na they're trying to excel on their own. Na parang I'm so happy that we get to invite strangers, hindi friends, na they show up in the outreach, being shy, being awkward.
Yeah.
But during the program, you can see them extending their hand na to other people.
Yeah.
Nagsistep up talaga. And that's the thing na feeling ko we're so fulfilled, yung nabigay namin yung opportunity na yun for them. I
Yeah,
think
well,
that's the best part.
yeah, correct. Well, thank you for those validation moments ng inyong advocacy. No? 'Cause sometimes you need that eh. Di ba? When you do something, there has to be something that you are looking for na, okay, if this is what's gonna happen, then we will continue doing this. And apparently, it is human to human interaction pa rin at the end of the day that validates your cause. So anyways, Benz and Bea, I really appreciate you sharing Him PH to us. Would you like to invite people to visit your page, or probably purchase your shirts or anything that you are selling so that they can help your cause also?
Yeah, so we're happily inviting everyone to please see our page. We have Instagram at him.ph, and we also have our Facebook page, him.ph.2017. And we also have our website. It's www.shopbyhim.com. And let us together promote our advocacy of wear, share, care, wear his words, share the good news to others, and care for the people in need.
Wear, share, care, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you. Again, thank you for the short notice, Benz and Bea. We appreciate you coming on the program. We wish and pray for the success of Him PH. You know, it's a good cause. Guys, you know, support them. Support their shirts, support their designs, and anything they do, you can simply just support morally or physically because they need help also sometimes. So, this has been your host, Nori Uy. Until the next time.